Brooks O'Hearn is extremely methodical at marketing. He's always capitalizing on what the other person wants to hear. This video is going to change your business. He's going to show you the cheapest way to get in front of the most amount of people. So let's get right into it.
Thanks everybody for being here. Holy cow, that's loud. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks Adam for the opportunity. I'll introduce myself real quickly in 6 seconds. I'm Brooks O'Hearn. I've been investing in single family real estate for 5 years now and looking to buy 100 doors of distressed multifamily property in the Midwest by the end of the year. So also looking for some friends to buy those properties with me. So, and I'm an online marketing nerd. So we'll dive right in. As you guys all know, the title of the presentation today was "We Buy Houses Nobody Cares." And something that's really funny, when I was driving in, the bum. Yeah, did you see him? Yeah. So there's a bum who is hitting people. Hopefully he'll still be there. We're all leaving, but he's got a yellow sign, and I don't know what is on the front of his sign. On the back of his sign, it's a "We Buy Houses Any Condition." So I mean, literally, no one cares. The bum's going to take your sign and turn it around. So let's dive in. So my goal today for you guys is to change up your thinking a little bit, change your mindset about some traditional forms of real estate marketing, and add in some online marketing techniques for you guys to help you buy and sell more houses. Okay. What makes this different? Obviously, this is a one-of-a-kind presentation for Adam that I put together. So I'm giving away a ton of my techniques that I don't think I've ever necessarily given away, and hopefully you guys can put these to use. And great thing is I'm not selling anything like most other RIA groups. So family real estate flipping for now 5 years. With my family there, you see my brother and my parents are in the business with us. Then, so we've done over $15 million in real estate that we've flipped in Denver and Colorado Springs in the last 5 years. Like I said, I'm an online marketing nerd, and I've used Facebook to buy and sell some of my properties. Facebook is a great tool that I've used. It's already become and very quickly becoming more and more of a powerful online tool to use for almost everything. I mean, it's replacing Craigslist. It's obviously it's replaced a lot of other social media sites. So if you guys are not on Facebook, you need to be. There's a ton of deals, a ton of business being done on Facebook. I also manage a successful real estate investment meetup. Not here to pitch that, just here to give you my resume and show you guys that I kind of know what I'm talking about. And my largest profit margin on a deal was, thus far to date, was $217,146.38. Expectations for today: hold all your questions till the end, please. There will be some questions I bet that I answer, and then I am happy to stay as long as you guys want me to, and I will answer any questions you guys can throw at me about real estate marketing or real estate in general, okay? I just ask that you guys also silence your cell phones, so just for everybody else around us, that everybody else can enjoy the presentation. So let's get into some of the real estate marketing basics, okay? So a lot of you, I know, you pointed out you're just learning some ClickFunnels, so you'll recognize this. This right here is your funnel. Okay, now here I'm going to take you through a quick piece of marketing advice. And We Buy Houses doesn't work because it skips all the way down here to your deals, right? You're telling people, hey, I buy houses, right? Or we buy houses, whatever. But you're not solving a problem for them, which is what they're looking for all the way up here when you get your sources and into your leads. Okay, so in marketing in general, and this is where I mesh online marketing with real estate marketing, okay, in online marketing, if you have ever seen an advertisement, actually, how many of you guys have recognized an advertisement on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram? How many of you guys have seen that and recognized it? Okay, so if you pay close attention, what they're doing is they're offering you a short little piece of information to solve one of your problems. It could be a video, it could be an ebook, it could be any sort of bait piece, okay, in order to get you in as a lead. Now, on down the line, and I'll use ClickFunnels as a specific example because this is where I learned a lot of this stuff. ClickFunnels has a program that's $1 million coaching program. Okay, so he will send his team of highly trained experts out and create an entire funnel for you somewhere in your business. You pay him $100,000 up front, and then you pay him 10% of sales until you reach $1 million. So basically what he's saying is, you pay me this $1 million and join my coaching program, I'll fly out, and I'm basically going to guarantee you $9 million in sales. Do you guys think that's anywhere on a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad? Absolutely not. Okay? It's not the place to sell $9 million worth of value. All right? So what he does is he gets people through, one of his biggest things is he gives away a free book. Okay? So he gives away a free book and then takes you through his funnel all the way down, and he'll have different offers throughout the process. Okay? So how we can relate this to real estate is, we're going to offer to solve someone's problem. Okay? If they are facing foreclosure, they don't know yet that they want to sell their house. They want to know how to stop the foreclosure. So I'm going to give them free information that lets them stop or helps them stop their foreclosure. And then we have them in as a lead. Then we can try to set up a house walkthrough. Then we can make them an offer, and then we can reach a deal. Okay? All the while, what I really did was I approached them as a solution source. So this is a big mindset shift for most people as a real estate investor. We're not just home buying and selling companies. We're real estate solutions companies. Okay? And the same thing goes for divorce. It goes for bankruptcy. It goes for any potentially motivated seller that you come across. If they know already that they need to sell their house, chances are someone before you has given them the information and taught them that they need to sell their house. They just couldn't close the deal on this person. Okay? If they respond to a We Buy Houses ad, then chances are they're so far down this funnel already that you just got lucky because somebody couldn't close the deal in front of you. So here's some things about why We Buy Houses is pointless. First, it's trademarked. Okay? Second off, they will come after you. I mean, if you use We Buy Houses online or wherever, they will come after you, all right? They're very, very protective of their trademark, okay? So that's the first reason I don't recommend using it. The second one is, so the company that claims they were the first ever to use We Buy Houses, they started business in 1989. And in 1989, we experienced just a little dip in the market. Okay, saving own bailout of that industry. The housing market saw a bit of a dip in value and a lot of houses that came back on the market. So all of a sudden there is a flood of houses on the market and there's not enough buyers. Why does this marketing pitch work? Because there's not enough buyers and you say We Buy Houses. Okay? So in 1989, market conditions were a lot differently. All right. Again, this allows, We Buy Houses allows people, We Buy Houses, the phrase, the companies, thrives when there's not a lot of buyers in the market. Okay, people are looking for a ton of buyers. Obviously, if you've been anywhere in Denver real estate, or if you've been anywhere out from underneath a rock in the last 5 to 8 years in Denver, there are buyers everywhere. Okay, so it really doesn't matter anymore. And a very, very basic principle to always keep in mind is your customers, which when we're marketing for home sellers, those are our customers. Your customers in any form of marketing is going to ask, what's in it for me? That's the very first question they're going to ask. They don't ever know that they necessarily ask it, but that's what's asked. Okay? Pay attention to some high-level companies that do very well at marketing. For instance, Apple. You guys may love or hate Apple. I don't care. Watch how they market, okay? If you ever want to start comparison in marketing, compare an Apple ad for the iPhone. Okay? Just watch why Apple is so successful at selling such a high price item, and it's all the different terminology. Go home, watch those two, that's fine. Now, with this said, what I've had to do over the last 5 years is I've had to learn to get creative in order to find some deals. Okay? So what we're going to go through today, again, is first how to combine online marketing with real estate marketing. All right? Secondly, we're going to talk about how to ethically steal your competitors' traffic using more efficient and less costly marketing methods. Okay? So when someone basically raises their hand online, there are ways that you can follow them around for a lot less money than your competitors are paying. And we're going to talk about how to efficiently train and leverage your network into more deals. This, I think, is the most underrated things in real estate, especially for those of you in the room who said you're a new investor. This is definitely one of the most underrated things that you can do to increase your lead flow and increase your deal flow, and it's absolutely free. All right? Then we're going to talk about how to sell your properties in the first weekend to maximize your profits. And sometimes this system also helps. We've pre-sold properties using this same system. And then we're going to talk about how to turn the sale of one property into dozens of other leads. All right? So first, combining online marketing with real estate marketing. How many of you guys are on Facebook with a personal profile? How many of you guys are on Facebook with a business profile? Okay, how many of you guys have ever run a paid advertisement on Facebook? Not boosted a post. Okay, so you this up here, okay, this little thing, then drop down, all right, and you're going to find the Manage Ads button. That is, it will open up the Ads Manager for Facebook. This is still one of the most efficient, one of the most inexpensive ways to reach your customers and reach any sort of customer that you can ever possibly dream of, okay? So what we're going to do in here is get into the Ads Manager. It pops up and you can choose your audiences, all right? Now choosing audiences is great, and for most businesses, we'll take this restaurant, for example, what they can do is if they need more customers, let's walk in here on a Friday night and see what their demographic is like, okay? We can start running Facebook ads to everybody based on their geolocation and based on their demographics, and they can get more ads for their, more customers for their restaurant. The tough part about this is in real estate, there's no button that we put, or no amount of information that we put into Facebook that says, I'm facing a foreclosure, or I'm facing bankruptcy. There is, you can target divorce, okay? So divorced homeowners, you can target them very easily on Facebook. So what we have to do, this is actually a list of all the things you can possibly target on Facebook, all right? So you can do it by location, language, education, finance, ethnic affinity, home, so whether they own their home, whether they rent their house, first-time home buyer, new parents. The difficulty here is this is all algorithmic. Okay, so what that means is Facebook analyzes the pages you like, the posts you interact with, and all your online traffic to say, hey, this person is most likely a first-time home buyer, or this person most likely owns their home, or they're most likely a new parent. Exactly concrete. So you're going to pay more to advertise to those things. You can advertise again to parents, parents with teenagers, politics, life events. You can see all that, right? I'll send this out to you guys so you guys can have this at the end. All right. But the really cool part, the biggest secret about Facebook ads is creating a custom audience. Okay, taking your audience of past customers, and the reason this usually works is, let's take this restaurant again, for example. Let's say they have an emailing list. They can take their audience, upload it, and now run ads to everyone who's ever signed up for their emailing list here. Okay, so that's a past customer. Or if they have credit card data that says first name, last name, and your address, and you've been a customer here, I don't know if they have access to that data, but I'm sure they probably do in this day and age. They can run ads to you, and if you have a Facebook profile. Okay? So here's what we do. How do we translate this into real estate? Well, we take our direct mail lists. Okay? How many of you guys are running direct mail? How many of you guys have run direct mail in the past? How many of you guys got a big stack of return mail letters? Yeah, it always comes back, all right? There's always a ton of mailers that come back. So the cool thing about this is there are no return mailers, right? I upload the audience. There's no return mailers. I don't pay for postage unless somebody sees it. So what you do is you download your direct mail list as a CSV file. Okay? It's basically it's very similar to an Excel file. Just download it and as a CSV. That's all you really need to know. The information you need for Facebook, at minimum, is first name, last name, their city, state, and zip code. All right. Obviously, you have that information if you were going to mail to them because you need that. You need their address to mail to them, and you need their name to mail to them. Okay. If somehow you can get your hands through your hand or an email address for these people, that's even better. That will almost guarantee that they match it with a Facebook profile. All right, so we're going to upload it under that Audiences tab, and then we're going to run ads directly to them. Now, this ad is not going to say, "We buy houses" with a big ugly yellow sign in the middle of the picture, because they don't give a crap. What we're going to do is, if they're a landlord, we're going to run an ad targeted to them that says, "Hey, you're a landlord, and I'm pretty sure you are sick and tired of dealing with your tenants, whether they're late on rent or whether they trash the place after they move out. Whatever their pain points are," okay, and you can play around with it. That's the cool thing about it. A custom audience, you're going to pay pennies to be able to put your advertisement in front of these people. So don't worry about whether it's the right message or not. Let's test some different messages and see what your audience responds, okay? But the bottom line is, we're going to offer to solve their problem. So a landlord would be, call me. I've got some tips to give you to help screen your next tenant. All right. Well, if they turn over their tenant, they're probably not ready to sell their house yet. But guess what? They'll be ready to sell their house next time, or maybe they'll start looking for their new tenant, and they get 5 tenants through screening process, and they just can't find the right tenant. Now all of a sudden they're going to look to you, come back to you and say, "All right, well, now I just want to sell this property because I can't get a new tenant in there." All right. The other thing we can do is create a lookalike audience. All the customers here in this restaurant, past customers, and we want to reach new customers. What Facebook does is it compares their browsing and internet history to other users on the platform. Okay, so anyone else on Facebook who has a similar browsing and online profile, this means you like the same pages, you comment on the same things, you watch the same videos within a reasonable amount, then we can run ads to them as well. Okay, so if a group of people is a landlord or a group of landlords and we target a lookalike audience, there's a good chance that those people are also going to be landlords. All right. Now, second thing, how to ethically steal your competitors' traffic. Now, this is with YouTube. How many of you guys, has anybody in here run any Google pay-per-click ads? You have? Okay. Has anybody ever thought to run Google pay-per-click ads? Have you guys heard of it? You know what it... Okay. Just for reference, if you're running a We Buy Houses ad, and I know we hate this ad, but this is very, very simple, and everybody tries to do it here in Denver. If you are running a We Buy Houses ad targeted at Denver right now, per click, you will pay over $100. Okay? $100 for someone to click your website. You don't get their information. That's not them opting in. So if you're paying $100 a click, you better be converting those leads on your website at a pretty darn high rate. Okay? And even then, if you're trying to, let's say, wholesale, or you're trying to flip those properties, I mean, let's just say it takes 20 people to opt in. You just spent $2,000 on a lead. 20 clicks to get one opt-in. You just spent $2,000 on one lead. You better have a high close rate in person once you go meet them at the property. So, what we can do is use YouTube, because Google owns YouTube, and I'll share some cool things with you here in a second. So, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world just on its own. All right? It's owned by the first. And people love video. That's just a standard practice. That's a well-known fact in online marketing. Anything that you can put a video on is better than any sort of picture or text that you could ever have in your marketing. So, YouTube also has more users, searches, and user time, meaning the time that they spend on the website, than Bing, AOL, Yahoo, and Ask combined. All right, now I know if we're talking about advertisements, we're not necessarily looking at those, but that just puts it into perspective that YouTube in itself covers more territory than the next 4 search engines combined. All right, they get about 1 billion unique visitors per month, and nearly 1 out of 2 people that have an internet connection have a YouTube account. That is second only to Facebook, where 67% or 2/3 of people that have an internet connection across the world have a Facebook account. So if you want to know where your money goes pretty far in advertising or even on organic content, you should be on Facebook and you should be on YouTube. And we can talk about the rest later, but if you can't find deals and you can't find customers there, then let's tweak some things first. All right, they get 1 billion video views every single day. And YouTube, I'm going to teach you guys here in a second some organic some organic options and some paid options. And the cool thing about the paid options with YouTube is, first, let's say your cost per click is at $100 for We Buy Houses. If you're running an advertisement, that same advertisement to the same audience using video, in general, it's about 30% of the cost. Okay, so your dollar goes 3 times farther if you're spending it on a YouTube ad. Now, obviously, organic traffic is just that, organic, and you're not paying for it. The cool thing is, since Google owns YouTube, and they know that more people like video, videos rank faster on Google. So if you're trying to get your name out there and you're trying to reach more people in a faster way, YouTube is the way to go about it. And on paid, you're only charged if someone watches 30 seconds or more of your YouTube ad. Okay? So you know those ads that we don't care about, that we click skip after 7 seconds? That advertiser's really happy that you did that because now they don't pay for a thing to just put their message in front of you. But those first 6 seconds, excuse me, they got enough of your attention that the next time you see that ad, you'll be interested. Excuse me. So here's what we do. Here's how to hack this traffic. So first off, this is going to be for organic. I'll explain the paid here in a second because organic is obviously more relevant to more people. So we're going to use something called the Google Keyword Planner. Google offers this service for free. And in fact, if you create an account, a Google rep is going to call you and ask you how they can help you run your first ads or how they can help you with your keyword searches. What I use Google for in the Keyword Planner is I focus on all kinds of different keywords. It's easy to start with the basic type in We Buy Houses. You'll get about 500 different keywords that pertain to real estate investment or real estate or house buying, really all over the map. And the cool thing, and then you also get to see, like maybe, I've got an example here. We're looking for people that need help. This example is, can I stop my foreclosure and keep my house? Now, most real estate investors look at that and say, I can't do anything with that. I can't do anything with that keyword because I'm trying to buy their house. So if they keep their house, then that's not a win-win for me. Well, it is a win-win for you because most people facing foreclosure, they're already behind on their bills. And so you think they're really going to take all the information that you give them and execute exactly to a T? I mean, they're not entrepreneurs here. They're people that can't pay their bills. So they're going to slip up. Maybe the process won't work for them, but what you've done is you've given them a solution before you ever talk to them about you buying houses. Okay? Then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to film a short video giving away the answer. Now, this is for organic. Okay? If it's an organic video, all you're going to do is take your cell phone out, turn it sideways, and it really can be handheld. It really doesn't matter. These things don't have to be high quality. All you have to say is, hey, I've got, if you're facing foreclosure, the really cool thing is I've got 5 ways to stop your foreclosure without selling your house, and here are the 5 ways, right? You can refi your mortgage, you can get a new loan, you can file bankruptcy, you can do whatever, right? Go down the line, give them just a quick bit of information about it, and then at the end say, hey, if you want more information, give us a call, and we'd be happy to help you out to solve your bankruptcy, or solve your foreclosure. Now, what that's done is that's given you the option in front of them, or now solve their problem, and they're going to keep coming back to you for more and more information. And this goes down. With the Google Keyword Planner, you'll see it's really, really interesting how something like, I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but something like stop foreclosure and keep house, maybe that keyword, something really, really concise like that keyword will be maybe 4 or 5 times higher on your cost than a full sentence like, can I stop my foreclosure and keep my house? But the cool thing is with YouTube, if you film a video, you're going to rank for both of them. Okay? So, again, we film a short video and we give away the answer. Now, don't make them click anywhere else for information. That really counts if you are organic. If you've got a paid advertisement, then the entire basis of your ad is to get them to go somewhere. All right? So make them click somewhere. Go to your website. All right? Go to a link to your calendar to schedule a phone call for them to get out of their foreclosure. Okay? Upload the video to your YouTube channel. Now take the video from YouTube and share that video everywhere else. The most important reason for this is we're not going to upload one video to YouTube and one video to Facebook and then upload the same video to Twitter and then Instagram, and then they're all different. What we do is we upload one video to YouTube and then share that link everywhere else, because then the views count in one spot on YouTube. And why that's important is because the most important one, number of views. Number 2, your video title. Okay, so if this is the keyword you're going after, can I stop my foreclosure and keep my house? Then your description, and then video ratings. Okay, the description you can also control for like less than $1 a minute. You can send off, there's all kinds of softwares, all kinds of virtual assistants online. You can send it off your video, and they will transcribe your audio file. Okay, you go through, make a few edits, literally copy and paste. This way, when Google starts scrubbing that page for relevant information, they're going to hear you say paper. They're going to hear you say, you can stop your foreclosure using bankruptcy. You can stop your foreclosure with a loan modification. You can stop your foreclosure with, on down the line, all those other solutions that you're offering. And now not only will you rank for that video, but you'll rank when someone else searches for bankruptcy, or when someone else searches for loan modification to stop foreclosure. So that's the reason. So you'll start to rank on more and more platforms, more and more search criteria. Okay. Now, like I said, this is very, very important. This next piece, how to train and leverage your network other than it's probably the most important piece of your business, especially starting out. Most investors don't get this, and they fail. They start throwing money at a ton of different marketing campaigns, when really all they should be doing is taking a deeper look right inside of here. Okay? So, having a set buying criteria. This is important when Adam gives you a 6-second introduction, so you know maybe what the heck to talk about. Hey, I'm looking to buy single-family properties. Or did you guys notice? I'm looking to buy 100 multifamily doors. Do you think they understand what I'm looking for, and they'll probably come find me after this meeting? Yeah, I bet they will. So, having a set buying criteria is the most important thing. Knowing what you want to buy for your properties, how much financing cash you have available, and then what your crews can handle. There is not a lead source in the world that won't be able to find you properties. Okay? So this is very, very important for those of you that said you guys were new investors. Then, when someone sends you a deal, give them accurate feedback. Give them accurate feedback and tell them why either a deal does or does not work for you. Okay? Let them know, like there was a specific property that I've probably seen 5 different times. I don't know if it's still on the market. It probably is. It sits right on 6th Avenue. Okay? The purchase price is about $1 million. The ARV, I think, is above $2 million, or it's supposed to be above $2 million. My first problem with this property is that it sits next to 6th Avenue. And if you do any business with me or you bring me any sort of leads, you will know very quickly I do not touch a property that has a property line on a major street like that. 6th Avenue, I-25, 225. I won't touch it. I will not even spend more than 5 seconds on the deal. I will not touch it. Okay? And people know this. People absolutely know this when they bring me deals. So they have started not even sending me deals that border those streets. Okay? So, that's also important if you have, let's say someone sends you a project that needs structural work, and you don't know how to do structural work. Tell your lead source that you don't know how to do structural work. First, maybe your lead source has a structural contact that they can connect you with. Or second, they will not send you any more leads that need structural work. Okay? Now, on the flip side of that, once you maybe meet a mentor or once you meet a structural contact and you feel comfortable now taking on structural work, make sure you go back and tell all your lead sources, hey, I can take on structural. I learned that lesson I told one of my lead sources that one of the agents that I have looking for properties, he said, can you handle a big project? That project, this was about 2 years ago now, that project was a $775 purchase price. He had been watching it as it came down from $900,000 list price, and it started getting price reduced. I told him no. Initially, we couldn't take on that project, and that was up when it was about, I think, like $850 or $875, something like that. Well, another agent sent it to me that I had recently made a new connection with. Another agent sent me this property. Now, I'd never seen it from the first agent. He just asked me about this size of a project. Another agent sent it to me. I took a look at it. We were in a slightly different position with financing and cash available. And I said, yeah, let's jump on this. It was a $775 purchase. We had to put $300,000 into it and resell for $1.4 million. But what I didn't do was I didn't go back to my first agent. Little did I know this was the project that he was monitoring for me. Okay? So it kind of sucked. Luckily didn't put any strain on our relationship, but it kind of sucked for him to have to hear, hey, we just went under contract on this project, and he's like, damn, I've been watching that project for 2 months now. Well, it was my fault for not being upfront with him and reminding him that, hey, now we're in a little bit different position. We just had a couple properties sell on that bigger project. Okay? So it's very important on that side too. Then, train your team to do the heavy lifting and hand it off. All right? I see so many young investors that they want to hold all their information tight to the vest, right? They went out and got this cool deal analysis spreadsheet, or they went out and got this cool repair estimate spreadsheet, and maybe they paid just a little bit of money, maybe they paid a lot of money for these spreadsheets, maybe they paid a lot more money with education and the spreadsheets. But what they do is they hold all these spreadsheets very close to them, and they don't share it with anybody. Well, your agents, your wholesalers, any lead source that's getting paid to bring you leads, leverage the information and give it to them and say, this is exactly how I monitor, how I walk through a property. This is exactly how I monitor a project. This is exactly how I analyze a deal. Okay? Let them know exactly how you run your business, and they can then bring you more accurate deals. All right? So, now we bought some properties. Now let's sell some properties. This is the really fun part. All right? Whoa. All right. So first, you start marketing the property the day you buy the property. Okay? Literally, when we buy a property, my brother goes out to the property later that day, maybe the next day if it's an afternoon closing, and he changes all the locks out for our construction lock set, and then he places a sign in the front yard and lets people know who we are and what we're doing. Okay, that sign usually says something just similar. I'll show it to you on the next slide. It says Residential Redevelopment by Shamrock Homes. Okay? We get calls off of those signs all the time. Why? Some people think the house is already for sale. Other people know that it's not for sale, and try to get their clients in before it goes on the market. That's excellent. I'll take any sort of offer before it hits the market. I don't have to spend any money for staging or marketing or anything like that. All right, that's excellent. So with a yard sign, that's then Facebook updates. Again, we can go with paid and we can go with organic traffic. All right. We do a lot of project updates just organically. Now, really quick side note here. If you guys are on Facebook, Facebook has recently changed their policies that your business page will not reach as many people as it used to. So what they want to see is they want to see individuals like, they don't like businesses sending all their information out. The only reason they don't like the businesses sending out all kinds of information anymore is because what used to happen, everybody in real estate uses this same template in some form or fashion. On Monday, we post a local news article. On Tuesday, we post a national news article. On Wednesday, we post our blog post. On Thursday, we post a funny picture. And on Friday, we post an advertisement to remind people that we buy houses. Well, every single one of those posts has a link to it to send the user away from Facebook. Well, Facebook doesn't make any money if the users go away from their platform. Facebook has started to understand that they need to keep people on Facebook. If you're going to pay to advertise on their platform, you can send them wherever you want. They really don't care because they got your money as soon as that person clicked away from Facebook. Okay? It's like a toll road, basically. So as soon as they exit off the highway and enter onto E470, you get a toll, right? That's Facebook's way of saying, here you go, you can have our customer, you can have our traffic, but you're going to pay us for it. So what they've done is they took away a lot of the reach and changed their algorithm so business pages can't reach as many people anymore. So what you have to now do is you have to use Facebook like its own website. So use Facebook and just post a picture there. Just post a video, all right? What my dad does when he's out checking on our property, he takes pictures all the time and sends them to us just in the group text message to say, hey, concrete patios are getting poured today, or the hardwood floors are going in today, or new windows, whatever, right? Sometimes he takes videos, that's fine. All I do is save them and post them right up to Facebook, all right? So I don't ever have to see the project, but the Facebook users get very similar updates to what we get internally, and in turn, our Facebook users are very loyal, our followers on our Facebook page, and they always come back to check on our projects, all right? What we're not doing is we're not doing blog posts on our website anymore. We're not posting out, we're not posting any sort of local news articles. I mean, I posted one the other day when, it was a couple weeks ago, when 9 News put their article that said, for the first time ever, gone over 500,000. I think that article reached like maybe 200 people. When I posted, I'll show you on the slide, I posted a picture, excuse me, posted a picture of bare wood floors that looked terrible. No sand or anything yet. And it reached almost 2,000 people just organically. So if you want to reach 10 times more people, don't send anybody away from Facebook. It's that simple. Then, the important part is we get neighbors buy-in in our projects. Okay, so this is going to take boots on the ground. This is old-fashioned. Okay, this is old-fashioned. You got to go introduce yourself to the neighbors and let people know what's going on. They're always going to be curious about what's going on across the street, but no neighbor in 2018 is going to be nosy enough to walk across the street and introduce themselves. So, what does my dad goes and introduces himself to about a dozen neighbors. He hands them his business card and says, if you have any problems with our contractors or you see anything that looks wrong, don't go approach them. Call me first. I'll take care of it. That immediately builds trust to let the neighbors know that we are willing to take care of business. We're a reputable company, and we're not just in here to screw around and mess up their neighborhood and have contractors that are cussing and, I don't know, drinking beer, whatever they do at the job site. All right? And another way to do this is through paid advertisements. You guys remember how I said that we can target people based on their location? Well, just the same as this restaurant will target people with pictures or videos or whatever. If we have something cool going on our project, I'll spend $50 and boost a post. Excuse me. I will not boost a post. I will spend $50 and run an advertisement. Spend $50, run an advertisement, and I will target people within a 2-mile radius of this property. And I will target people who have interests like HGTV or Flip This House, Flip or Flop, Than Merrill, Robert Kiyosaki, and you name any sort of real estate investment high figure profile. And you can target people if they like those other pages. All right. So if they like HGTV, there's a good chance they like flipping houses, or they walk through. Feel free to stop by and take a quick peek around. Some neighbors will do this, some won't. Some of you guys might be asking if I know this works or not. I do know for a fact that this works because my brother has a puppy, and for the past year that he's had this puppy, we have used her in different marketing pieces, videos, pictures, things like that. And people will show up at the open house or see her on the job site and say, "Oh, I recognize you from Facebook." So, yeah, it works, right? Then, we always hold what we call a pick your neighbor party. People don't do this. This is a very underrated thing. What this is an open house. Well, that's the way we advertise it to the public. When we advertise it to the neighborhood, it's the pick. I think it's a party, and it is a party, because we get like 100 people through our open houses every single day. Stuffy open house. And we have mimosas. So then we also control the environment in which people see our properties, and we create a herd mentality, all right? And we do this by not allowing showings before open house. So a lot of people do this. We list on a Monday, don't allow showings until Saturday, and then by then we've got 8 or 10 showings stacked up, plus 100 neighbors ready to get in the door. And then a lot of people worry who's a real buyer and who's not a real buyer. But it's all about changing their mindset and putting them in the environment that we want them in. Okay? So, here's that sign that I've seen off of a colonial-style yard arm, just like a real estate sign. Okay? It's no different, and that's why people mistake it for a for sale sign. All right? People will call all the time and say, "You're selling that house? It looks like crap." Yeah, it does. We're fixing it. Didn't you notice the dumpster in the driveway, or the guys around working? But at least we got a phone call from them, and they're interested in the house. So this sign, combined with some Facebook marketing, we've pre-sold 2 properties during construction, and it's using Facebook and this sign, okay, for a total on those 2 of additional profit. This is over and above what we thought we were going to make. Additional profit of $75,000 on those 2 deals. All right. So if you're not using Facebook, again, if you're not using Facebook and not using just some of these basic marketing techniques, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And then this is what I was talking about earlier. Look at that picture. I mean, we don't even have paint yet. Up in there, the fireplace is torn apart. There's a window that's still covered up. They had a wrong window that came. So, but all it was I was showing people the black walnut floors that had just been installed. And again, they haven't. I asked for a thumbs up or a thumbs down. What do you think? I got like 20-some comments, I think, on this post, and it reached almost 1,800 people. It's very simple. It doesn't have to be perfect. Getting your name out there online doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Whoa. This is our Pick Your Neighbor Party flyer. Okay? Again, this is old. The fact that you got to actually walk the neighborhood and personally invite 100 people. It's not that hard. They saw the dumpster. So here's how this conversation is most likely going to go. Knock on the door. "Hey, I want to invite you to our party this weekend that we're having over at the house that we just finished renovating. I know a lot of the neighbors have been asking about what's going on, and you guys have been checking in on the progress. So we want to invite all the neighbors. And feel free to bring your friends. We've got a mimosa bar there, so it's going to be a great time. See you this weekend." Oh, awesome. You'll always get one group of ladies, I promise you this, one group of ladies who brunch on Saturday, Sunday, and they will come pregame their brunch at your open house. All right? Like, they'll come, for a couple mimosas before they go get their bottomless mimosas. It happens every time. And now all of a sudden, 12 women walking through the house like, oh my God, I love this. Who does your cabinets? Who does your appliances? So, it's very simple, right? And then, of course, I've got our information on the back side. So when they take this in and set it on their counter, and then, I don't know, they'll forget about it. Maybe they won't forget about the flyer. But they'll come back to it at some point. Maybe they'll follow us somewhere on social media. But again, this is here. Now, something that's kind of covered up here, you can't see, it's a small call to action. If you know anyone looking to sell their house, please give us a call. All right? Again, it's very small, but it's just another reminder that, hey, if you know anyone looking to sell your house, let us know. Notice, nowhere on here did I say we buy houses. I just said I'd love to help somebody who's looking to sell their house. All right? So we also use Facebook to advertise our open houses. All right? This used to be super simple. This used to be as easy as taking the photo gallery that you just posted of your brand new house that you just renovated, and you could throw some money at it, send it to Facebook, send it to an audience, and they could click through every single one of your 35 or more photos. Not anymore. Facebook caught on to that one real quick. People love an entire album, and they'll spend all day sitting there just clicking and commenting and asking about different paint colors and where'd you get this piece and who's your stager, where's this piece of furniture from. It's just too simple. I mean, I was reaching people when I was doing that stuff. I was reaching people for less than 1/5 of a cent per person. So it's insane numbers. One picture at a time or one video at a time. So what I've done is you either scroll some pictures on a video, or you literally just take a quick walkthrough. If you guys get the 3D walkthroughs done through Matterport or get a walkthrough, what you can do is on your computer just take a screen recording of you literally clicking around the house for a minute and go to the cool parts. If you guys go to our Facebook page, you'll see one of the most recent projects that we did. All I did was I clicked in on the 3D view, went over to the kitchen, panned around a little bit, went over, checked out the master bedroom, and by then it was about a minute. And then I spent $100 on that advertisement. What I do, I targeted real estate agents within 50 miles of Denver, within the city of Denver and the Denver metro area plus. All right. So the way I do that is we target based on their employer. Facebook show off where we work, and every real estate agent definitely wants to show off where they work. I'm going to target them based on their employers. Keller Williams, Century 21, Remax, and every single variation of this that I can find. Okay? Every variation that Facebook will allow me to target, I'm going to target that. All right? My audiences, by the time I'm done, are like this long on a computer screen. I mean, I just got to keep scrolling. Okay? But I'm making sure I'm hitting every single person who possibly could be a real estate agent and has a Facebook profile in Denver. Then, job title. This is slightly different. Now I can target anybody who says real estate broker, real estate agent, broker associate, realtor. Once you start to type like 4 or 5 of these in, Facebook will just start coming up with suggestions, and as long as you're still clicking job titles, just keep clicking. Literally, just keep clicking until they go away. All right? And then with this audience, my targeted interests are very minimal because I already know that they're in real estate. I don't necessarily need to whittle them down any further and make sure they're interested in house flipping or anything. If they're in real estate, if they're a real estate agent, then I know that they're gonna respond to what I'm putting in front of them. A lot of people ask, the first question I usually hear is, why don't you target your ideal demographic? My ideal demographic is not the specific home buyer, okay? I don't want to try to figure out what type of person is going to buy the house that's worth $600,000 in this specific neighborhood. I don't care, all right? I don't want to try to guess whether they have 2 kids or 4 kids. There have been houses that we thought would definitely sell to an old retired couple, and a young 30s couple buys it with 3 kids. So if I guess, I'm probably going to guess wrong. One thing that's always, always, always constant in a real estate transaction is a real estate agent. And if I can get my property in front of this specific real estate agent, they then have 5 or 6 more people that they have on their payroll or on their, on their current list as a buyer or a seller or whatever. Okay? So if I'm paying 0.5 of a cent to reach one person, and they then can technically have 4 or 5 other people that they send my message to on my behalf, I don't know, those numbers get really small, but I know it's pretty darn good for marketing dollars. Okay? So I'll spend $100 there in audience 1, and then audience in the area. If I have seen one constant in every single open house that we've ever run, it's that all the neighbors come out and they always have friends. Like, let's say the house is down in Littleton, they've got a friend up in Stapleton who their 2 sons play hockey together, but they want the other one to move near them. All right? They would rather their kids play together, they would rather have dinner on Friday nights, and they'd rather walk around the block than drive up to Stapleton or drive from Stapleton to Littleton. So what I do is I target everyone in a 5-mile radius of the house, and there's a specific target for people who live in that area. You want to make sure that it's people who live in that area. How does Facebook know if you live in an area or not? Well, they track our location all the time, and it's really funny when your phone doesn't move for 8 hours a night while you're sleeping, they're pretty sure you live there. Then this is where I use targeted interest. This is where I'm very particular on targeted interest, because this is not because I think that only people who like HGTV buy houses. Only people who like HGTV engage with my stuff on Facebook. So I don't want to spend, if Facebook sees that a lot of people scroll by your stuff, then your cost per engagement, your cost per click goes up because not as many people are responding to it. So what I do is, again, I pick things that I can prove. Facebook's going to come up with a suggestion that says people who are interested in real estate. Nope. People who like HGTV. People who like Flip This House. Who like Flip or Flop. Or what's Chip and Joanna's show? Fixer Upper? Yeah. Fixer Upper. Sorry, you guys are probably like me. I don't watch HGTV much anymore because it's basically like watching work. So, and that's where I get people most commonly that say, "Hey, we recognize the puppy from Instagram, or we recognize this feature wall that we saw throughout the project." It's very simple. It's very simple, and it's easy because it works. All right. Now, one key thing about Facebook: get in while you can. Okay? Because large companies like Apple and Dell and Microsoft, Best Buy, I don't know if they'll still be around, but if all these big companies have not yet figured out that this is the easiest way to spend money, they're still spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on TV and radio and just all sorts of big ads. They're also spending all kinds of money on Google pay-per-click. Most experts that I follow say there's about 3 to 5 years left before our ad costs start going through the roof. Ad costs are slowly creeping up on Facebook, but they're still very, very beneficial. So get in while you can. It's still super easy, all right? Then once you have this large following of people who have been seeing all your projects for the last 3 to 5 years, when the change comes and all these big businesses start to throw their money at it, now you've got an organic reach that you can still use and leverage to help you buy and sell more properties. Okay? So, let's stay in touch. Find me on Facebook. That's the easiest way to stay in touch with me. Sorry for those of you that are probably going to ask at the end of this. No, I don't have a stack of business cards with me. I'm old school. I'm digital. Find me on Facebook. I can send you my contact information, whatever. If you have questions, follow our company page or Old School Method. Email me there. I'd love to help anybody out with real estate related questions, real estate marketing questions. Cool. All right. Well, if you have private questions, feel free to come up and ask me. And thanks again, guys, for your attention. That was great.